Welcome to the channel PEPTALK 2017, People Empowering Professional. Tonight, we are privileged to have inspiring speakers. Tanudjaja, Senior Project Manager. Agustini Kawi, SAP Solution Architect. HENDRIK TAN Co-Founder and CTO. TARUNA, Project Manager. Let's welcome our MCs for tonight, Alexander Tan and Melinda Patricia.
Halo semuanya, kita mengucapkan selamat datang ke PEPTALK 2017. Wow, video introduction-nya luar biasa, keren ya.
Sangat luar biasa.
Sangat luar biasa. Jadi seperti yang teman-teman tahu, kalau PEPTALK ini adalah acara tahunannya The Channel. Benar gak kok?
Benar.
Acara yang luar biasa ditunggu-tunggu. Kenapa sih luar biasanya?
Ya, karena kita setiap tahun ini ada yang memberikan inspirasi tentang kebaikan Tuhan di pekerjaan mereka masing-masing, dan mereka bakal sharing keahlian mereka masing-masing juga di marketplace, how is going on in the market right now.
Wow, luar biasa. Jadi hari ini tadi kita udah diperkenalkan bahwa akan ada 4 speakers luar biasa yang sudah kita undang yang akan membagikan pengalaman hidupnya, kisah hidupnya yang luar biasa yang dipakai Tuhan di dalam marketplace, benar gak?
Benar sekali.
Dan kalau gitu kita langsung aja
ya.
Kita undang speaker pertama kita yaitu Saudara Tanudjaja yang berprofesi sebagai IT Senior Project Manager.
Shalom semua, nama saya Robin, saya kerja di Orange. A bit of background, saya orang Jakarta, ikutan Cool Monteblu team. Thanks for the support. Yeah, I'm currently working in Orange Business Services, Singapore. So Orange basically is a consulting arm of French Telecom. So I'm managing IT projects in enterprise telephony, security and network. So today I want to share to you about my life journey with God, from which I could really see how God really working in my life. From how I got my first international assignment on my first job, how I met my ex-girlfriend, wife for 10 years, Martalia. From how I got my first job in Singapore and how it led to for another job in Dubai, right? So to start off, to give you a bit background, I was born Buddhist, and my whole family was actually a Buddhist. So actually, thank God that through an event happened to my mom, the whole family was converted to Christian. And we really thank God because God chose us to be His children. Because, you know, out of so many people from different religions who could have come into my family life, it happens that my parents met a pastor who changed my family life to accept Jesus Christ, right? And out of so many things that we want to get right in this life, this is definitely the most important one, to have, peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ, right? So yeah, to start off that on the professional life, I believe everybody here wants to be successful, whether in your career or in your career, in your businesses, you know. So let me share a bit to you what the world says on what is the recipe for success, right? On one side of the coin, you know, some people say success is really more about luck, right? There's an interesting remarks from Jack Ma when he was trying to reason why Alibaba was really successful, right? Was it because they're really hardworking? No, he said there are more people who work harder more than them, right? Was it because they are smarter? Nope, he said, because all the smart people already left the company. They want to join the bigger company. Last time Alibaba was really small. So somehow he attributed his success to good luck, right? Another side of the coin that, some people says, you just need a little bit of luck. The rest is how you plan and how you follow through on this, right? For me personally, let me share to you about about my first job. My first job was in Schlumberger. It was an oilfield services company. It was in 2002. 2 months after I joined the company, my manager assigned me to an international project. So I must go to Singapore, Thailand, Pakistan, Saudi, Bahrain, Kuwait. So I was thinking that I was selected because I was good. I got several certifications in Microsoft, right? But actually after that, I happened to know that in my Jakarta office, there were a lot of people who had the same certifications like me. So the question is that, why me, So if I reflect back on my this experience, I really believe that, it was God's favor that made my manager pick me instead of my colleague, right? So this one door open led to another door open. And then, I got many other international projects in Sudan, Iran, Syria, on all these, funny places. So my point is this, right? I don't think me as a fresh grad last time, I could really plan all of these things, right? When we say, my point is that when we say, God, you're my God, He will put you at the right place, at the right time, meeting the right people to do the right things according to His plan for your life, right? So I don't really agree with what the world say it was luck, because when it was luck, you don't acknowledge two things. You don't acknowledge that there was a giver who give you all that good things, and there was a purpose why He gave you at the first place, right? Because when you say it was luck, it was like saying, I got this thing, I don't know who gave it, I don't know what to do with it. So, what I learned also from Bible, I really like the story of Esther. You're familiar with the Esther? So she was selected to become the queen, right? The story was that, all the other women was trying to outdo one another by their own self-effort. But she was trying just to listen to one person who knows king's preference best. And she got it. She became the queen, right? So my point is that, like Esther, we can stand out in the crowd and obtain the favor and God's favor when we stop depending on our efforts alone. It doesn't mean that you don't work, but you don't depend on your efforts alone, but you must depend on Jesus, who is one with God. Amen? Okay, so the story goes that after all those traveling, I felt something empty, right? I started to ask God for my missing tulang rusuk. So somebody stole it, right? So not long after I had that thoughts, somehow my high school friend introduced me to her cousin, Martha. And the start of our journey was also a bit unique. So what happened was that I tried to scout her profile in Friendster. Belum ada Facebook. So the favorite book was Bible. The favorite song was Hillsong. So definitely you cannot play with this kind of lady, right? So to impress her, for first date, I asked her to go out for a cool from one of the churches in Jakarta. So what happened is that during that cool, somehow only during that cool, they have a guest speaker. And that guest speaker has some kind of prophetic ability. You know, she approached us and tell us that, you two don't go back yet. You know, after this, I want to talk to you. So what happened is that after the call, she approached Martha and say, you start packing, be prepared, and start preparing to go to nations, So, it was my first date. Then suddenly somebody told me something that, surprising, right? And we were really surprised. Then, we didn't understand at the time, but, right now, if we're looking at it now, praise the Lord, we had traveled to 30 plus countries so far. So now we understand, what he meant by that, right? So so the story goes that we continued our relationship, and then I got another favor of God. I got a scholarship from Nanyang MBA. So it was a 13 months program and long distance. So long distance relationship. So zaman dulu belum ada WhatsApp, belum ada fast chat. Jadi tough ya. Jadi so after graduating from the MBA, we got married. Then after that, we decided to move to Singapore. So after honeymoon, we came back to Singapore to find a job. With one rented room, one laptop, 2 luggages, and 3 months worth of living costs. And that is borrowed from my parents. So, it was a tough moment for me because I couldn't get the job, right? I was really stressful. And then, sometimes I even had nightmares when Martha needed to calm me down. So, so we prayed really hard, and we fasted, and we cried to the Lord. Lord, where is my job, right? So after 120 plus applications, I finally got a job in NOL. So thank God, and that job, I got it in 3 months minus 1 week. So we were about just to pack. So then, so thank God after that, Martha also got a job in UOB. And then, so my learning point from here is that, when Martha always there, I always thank God for Martha to keep supporting me in good and bad times. And, she's always there. And I really like these proverbs saying, an excellent wife, is more precious than jewels, right? And all the ladies says. Yeah, so another thing that I learned from here was that, God is never late. Sometimes we feel that he's late, but he's always on time. And if our calling to be somewhere, to do something, God definitely will provide some way, right? He knows where you need to be, when you need to be, and what you need to be doing at that time. And another story that I like to share is that after I got that first job, we offered our first fruit 100% as a first fruit to the Lord, 100%. Walaupun pada saat itu utang udah sekelibat badan gitu, karena ya 3 bulan minjem orang tua kanan kiri. Jadi dan starting from that point, we also started to give our tithe and offering, right? Because we believe that when we we offer back our 10% to the Lord, He will sanctify the 90% from all the destroyers. And when all the offerings, given to the right channel and with a cheerful heart, then He will definitely multiply us back, right? So, yeah, basically our God is is a God of the whole universe. You know, he doesn't need our money, right? So, you know, we will never be able to outgive him, you know. But we believe that when we are faithful in our finances, he will reply us back abundantly, right? So, yeah. So fast forward a bit that when I had a copy session with my friend in NOL, I happened to know that he got a friend working in Dubai as a CIO. So I sent him my CV, and at that time, I was not really serious, but somehow, you know, in 2 weeks' time, I got a job offer. And the interesting story from here was that, you know, when he asked, how much do you want for your salary? So I quoted a number which is so much more from what I had in NOL. And it was so much more from whatever number that I could ever imagine at that time, you know. And you know what the response is? You know, he said, that's it. So we were like, okay. So really that we experienced another God's favor there. And, you know, and in Dubai also, Martha was able to work for big MNCs like Nestle. You know, Nestle, you know, you go to the meeting room full of Nestle products. Abbott Laboratories, and even she has the same story also, you know, that in Abbott, she got salary of more than what she asked during the interview. So God really blessed us abundantly at that time, and really that during that 5 years in Dubai, it was a big world economic crisis, right, at that time, and God protected us from all the job cuts. And all our friends and colleagues were able to see how God's favor working in our life, you know. So looking back, if I didn't have that job in NOL, I wouldn't have got that job opportunity in Dubai. So my point is that, you know, don't be discouraged to start small, because actually you don't know how your past can define your present and future, right? And I really like this verse in Jeremiah 29, which is saying, you know, God always have a good plan for us, right? A plan of the future full of hope, you know. We may not be able to understand his plan, and sometimes we even think that our plan is better than his plan, right? But knowing our God, you know, we can always be sure that he's always working in our favor. Amen? So as a closing statement, I like to say, your life is a story. Let's make it a bestseller together with God. Haleluya.
Wow, luar biasa sekali.
Luar biasa.
Kisah hidup yang menginspirasi ya pastinya. Jadi kalau tadi aku sudah mendengar cerita tentang Pak Robin. Itu mengingatkan aku akan sesuatu loh. Mengingatkan aku akan satu ayat di Alkitab itu di Ecclesiastes 3 ayat 1. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Tadi seperti yang dibilangkan kalau kita tuh berjalan sama Tuhan, itu tuh nggak cuman kalau orang dunia bilang itu adalah lu hoki banget, ya kan? Orang-orang kan suka bilang lu hoki, kalau kerja itu katanya 80% hoki, 20%-nya kerja keras. Tapi I believe kalau kita berjalan bersama Tuhan itu semua segala sesuatunya memang sudah disiapkan oleh Tuhan. Kayak yang tadi dibilang, He will place you at the right place, on the right timing, with the right people to do the right things. Wow, itu luar biasa banget ya. Amin saudara-saudara.
Saudara, ya,
Amin.